Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Now, for those of you who may not keep up with current events in boxing and some of our favorite boxers, you may not have realized that Deontay Wilder had been training to be an MMA fighter. Now, I personally think Joseph Parker just had a better game plan. However, in addition to all the things that we've already discussed when it comes to why Deontay Wilder wasn't able to get the job done against Joseph Parker, I happened to rewatch the fight, and while I was watching it, it reminded me of what I was thinking when I actually watched it live, how Deontay Wilder was throwing hammer fists. So I forgot to do the video because I'm so damn busy. And when I was rewatching it last night when all my kids were sleeping, I was like, there we go. I was like, so this man's throwing those hammer fists. I was like, I need to do a video about this because in addition to Malik Scott, to me, hurting Deontay Wilder as far as taking things away from him that he needs in the ring. In addition to Deontay Wilder being inactive, in addition to Deontay Wilder choosing what seems to be just to get high, in addition to Wilder becoming very successful in the sport of boxing and being in a very, I would say, comfortable space to where he's not really worried about returning to the sport. I think the fact that he was also training to fight an opponent in the octagon, I think that's something else that affected his performance because, you talk about, like in boxing, man, you got muscle memory. You do things instinctively when you're in the gym training. That's for all sports. If you're in there, man, and you're living the life, there's just certain things you do instinctively. And I've never seen Deontay Wilder headlock an opponent. I've never seen him throw hammer fists. And I truly believe that's something else that contributed to him getting in the ring and just looking completely lost. He was no longer able to do things instinctively because now he started to get away from boxing and start to delve more into this MMA style of fighting. So I just think that adds another layer of complexity to Deontay Wilder's problem. And that's what happens when you have, or you're made to feel that you have so many options on the table. If Deontay Wilder had never been approached about fighting in the PFL, fighting an MMA match, Deontay Wilder would have never, ever started training MMA. He would have stayed focused whenever he did get in the gym on boxing. So you can see he was in there and having to think a whole lot. That's something else people pointed out. He was overthinking. He was probably overthinking because he spent a lot of time maybe working on this MMA crap. And as a result, he gets in there and realizes he can't do his jiu-jitsu. He can't do a leg lock. He can't throw an elbow. And he's having to think about, okay, what should I do? Where before, things came instinctively. So as a result, come down hammer fist. And he's in there, man, basically like goddamn Super Mario Brothers and just going crazy. So that being said, if Wilder really gets back into the gym, I think a lot of people feel he should just go away. He should just hang it up. I personally think all four, the big dogs, Usyk, Fury, Wilder, and AJ should just disappear personally. There's so much talent in the damn heavyweight division that we're not able to get a peek behind the tent flaps to see what's going on because these four they just take all of the shine and all of the attention. But at the end of the day, if Wilder chooses to continue fighting, I think we're going to see in his return something spectacular. And the reason why I say that is because one, he's got embarrassed. Two, he's got humbled. Right? Three, he missed out on like $100 million payday or something. I don't know if it was $100 million for him, $100 million for AJ, $50 million apiece. But the reports I'm seeing, pretty consistent, is that Deontay Wilder blows a $100 million Anthony Joshua deal. So it could be more than $50 million apiece. All right? And also, he realized that, you can't be between disciplines. You got to either go all out in MMA or go all out in boxing. But for a guy like him who started late in boxing and who struggled somewhat with basic fundamentals, why in hell at age 38 would you go and pick up MMA? If you started boxing at 18 and struggling with fundamentals, what do you think is going to happen at 38? You're 6'7", you're super thin, you look like an upside-down slingshot. And you're going into that MMA world, guys who are around your weight, 215, 210 to say 210 to 220. Yo, they got some guys, man, standing about 6'1", 6'2", that are built like houses. And I just think Deontay Wilder gets hurt in those fights. That being said, Deontay Wilder gets his stuff together, focuses solely on boxing, understands what he did wrong. I think he returns to the ring. I think Deontay Wilder is going to have everybody talking like the way they were before, the way they were when he fought Helenius. We all know he's still dangerous with the right hand, but if he chooses to continue and he stops with gets rid of all these other distractions that he's had, I think Deontay Wilder could come back and at least get us back, speaking positively about him. But I tell you what, when you already start talking about retirement, you should retire. And that's in anything that you're doing. I'm going to be honest with you. You always hear everybody in boxing talk about the silk pajamas syndrome, right? Marvelous Marvin Hagler talked about that. It's kind of hard to wake up, put in that road work when you're sleeping in silk pajamas. Well, what I'll tell you is, for me being a guy who's retired, right, 25 years of doing something, probably around that my 19th year, 18th, 19th year, I was like, man, I'm not really enjoying this no more. You know what I'm saying? You'll feel it. Like, you'll just know. So for those of you out there who are retired or who are working and probably have been working for about 15 plus years, you know what you feel. And for me, I just didn't want to put that goddamn uniform on no more. You know what I'm saying? There were some days were good days, but for the most part in the morning, it was like, Jesus Christ, man. And then I had kids. That changed me too, having kids, man, and getting married. But the kids, man. And I was like, nah, this ain't it. So I pushed around 18, 19 years, I started feeling it. And I pushed to 20, to get to my 25th year. And I was trying to get to 30, but man, I was just tired. And when I see Deontay Wilder, it's like I pushed to get to 25. Well, he pushed to get to this fight, and he wants to push 3-4 more years. I just think he's tired too. He's chilling. He's enjoying himself. It's like me, man. I haven't worked in 5 years now, and I feel to do it. I do. I was like, yo, you know what? I get opportunities sent to me all the time. But then it's like, damn, man, I want to sit here and really, even if I'm working from home, I don't really want to sit here, man, and be attached to a desk. Or I like my freedom, So I understand Deontay Wilder's position, man, where he's very comfortable and he doesn't have to do something. It's like me, man. Life is pretty damn good. But if I do something, I have to enjoy it. And it would be worth it financially, you know what I'm saying? Who's going to argue about making a little bit of dirt money? But at the same time, if that's going to create stress in my life and make me unhappy, why would I do it? And I think for Deontay Wilder, if he's going to create stress in his life and make him unhappy, I don't think he should do it. But then again, in my case, you're talking about maybe $70,000 a year to $200,000 a year if I go out here and work. Deontay Wilder's case, you're talking about, millions and millions of dollars for one night. So he got some decisions to make. But I tell you what, he needs to leave that MMA shit alone, because his hammer fist he was throwing, that was horrible. That being said, good luck to Deontay Wilder. Can't afford to get back in the ring and end up in another one-sided loss. He just can't do that. And the idea of him returning to the ring to fight Francis Ngannou in an MMA match. Matter of fact, how many of y'all really Deontay Wilder hinting at getting in the ring with Francis Ngannou right now in an MMA match, or even a hybrid boxing MMA match? Y'all still shooting for that shit? Especially if Francis Ngannou can grab him? Come on, man. We don't need to see that. Let my boy just go ahead and chill with his ayahuasca, whatever the hell that devil juice is he's sipping on. Let him go on out there. Let him relax. Stay away from boxing. Definitely don't go messing with no goddamn Francis Ngannou and no MMA bout. I don't care if they're giving you $200 million. Just go and chill and stay healthy. You can get hurt. He can get hurt very badly messing around in the MMA bout. That being said, y'all keep cool. Lopsided upset there in Saudi Arabia. And I really think, for all the other things I've mentioned, I definitely think that training in this MMA crap and having his mind on fighting in Africa, fighting in the States, fighting in Saudi, and all these other things he has going on in his life, I just think there were too many distractions. In addition to that, having a trainer who I feel is a yes man and hasn't helped. If anything, he's taken away what few intangibles he had that were proven to be effective in the ring. In the breeze.